Welcome back to Identical Opposites. Today is Wednesday, February 24th. Timothy Carson Wentz has been traded. Let's get into that first. And for all the talk that there's been about this big trade, this big package they're looking for Wentz, I think they got the package that like everyone expected them to be getting, the first offers, but nobody thought they would take that. There's so much offseason left. Why would they settle?
They would have got more than that. Like at least one. Because, I mean, he was like an MVP candidate not too long ago.
NFL players' trade stock is significantly, hinged on what Twitter values them as. And Twitter hates Carson Wentz right now.
I mean, how can you not with the way he played like shit last year? But I think it's more Philly fans hate him because they're Philly fans and they hate everybody.
Dude, everyone's already given up on him. Like, everyone was talking, who got a second shot this year? Quarterback Cam Newton. Everyone was willing to give Cam Newton a shot this year, and give him respect. But Carson Wentz, one down year, everyone turned on him.
I mean, I think it's more of a meme.
Mormons. That's it. That's all who stands.
I think Carson was a meme, like how the Carson Wentz shit because it was Philly. But I mean, I still think people like Wentz now more than did Cam a year ago. Like, everybody kind of gave up on Cam except a few people. The
thing with Cam, though, is everyone knew he shot. And I used to hate Cam, but now I love Cam. So, I want him to do good. But I feel like everyone knew he was shot, but he never gets the respect he deserves. So everyone was like, dude, look at what he did. He's primed to have a bounce back year. Just in the right offense. But Carson Wentz, I feel like people still deep down think he's got talent. And we all love to tear people down so they can build themselves up. We love, America's, this whole Britney Spears shit everyone's talking about.
What Britney Spears shit?
Remember the Free Britney documentary that came out? They were talking about, what America did to her and,
how they destroyed her life, basically.
Yeah, and,
that was, the paparazzi destroyed her life, and she went crazy.
Justin Timberlake's a pretty big piece of shit. Let's not get into that.
For real?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I always see Justin Timberlake. I thought he was the nicest guy. Is there really bad shit that
he
comes
had to
out
put out two apologies last week. One about Britney and one about Janet Jackson's tits.
What? Oh, did he really have to apologize for that? Wasn't it an accident?
He had to. I don't know what he had to apologize for. Well, maybe he did something to get the said nipple out on the halftime show. But I know I should know more about this and bring it up on a podcast. But all I know is he issued two apologies, and one was being a piece of shit to Britney, and one was for releasing dentetas on national television
during the Super Bowl halftime show.
Which everyone universally says is the best halftime show in Super Bowl history, all because of that, and now we're all attacking him. But if he deliberately pulled it out without her consent, then I obviously had to say we're canceling Justin Timberlake on this podcast.
I don't think he did that. But back to Wentz. What was the trade? A second and
a I think it's a third right now, but it can become a first if he plays some, I think 75% of the snaps. And certain numbers, maybe I don't know if he has to reach certain numbers, but I definitely know 75% of the snaps. And for Carson Wentz, that's 110% of the snaps. 75 is impossible for him.
Are you sure it's not a third this year and then a second next year that can become a one? Because going from a third to a one doesn't sound right. I'm pretty sure
that's what I'm saying. It's a third next year.
No, third this year.
How can you?
Because they're waiting for the second to turn into a first based off next year.
It's the second round pick that they got.
They got a third rounder this year and a second next year that can become a one.
Okay, so it's not that huge of a jump.
I mean, yeah, it'll be a one if he plays 75% of the snaps, but with Carson Wentz's injury history, I don't know if he's going to play 75%.
75% of him is 110% for everyone else. It's physically impossible for him.
Imagine he plays 11 and a half games and he's an MVP candidate and he gets injured and he plays in the playoffs. Let's say they make the playoffs. But he didn't play 75% of the snaps, so they don't have to give up one, and they got an MVP-type quarterback again. Imagine that's what happens. Philly fans would be so fucking mad. They would hate Carson Wentz even more, and they would talk about his injuries even fucking more.
Philly's such assholes. Carson Wentz been nothing but a good guy there. I mean, he sucked. Guy. He had one bad year, and they all acted like he was the Antichrist wearing their uniform.
The fact that they fired their head coach, traded their fucking franchise quarterback.
It took me a month to learn Nick Sirianni's name and get it down pat every time I said it.
It's just crazy. 3 years ago, they won their Super Bowl, and now they're shipping out their fucking head coach and quarterback after 1 year not making the playoffs.
The quarterback didn't win them the ring, though.
Bro, if he was on that team, we all know he would have won the fucking Super Bowl if Carson Wentz was playing, and it would have been even worse.
Should that be a poll? Would the Eagles won the Super Bowl with Carson Wentz?
Yes, they would have, because Nick Foles has proven that he's not that good since then. But
he's proven he's clutching the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, he still wasn't great when they played the fucking... When they played the Bears the next year, he wasn't great in that game.
What principle do we stand on this podcast, Timothy?
What?
Joe Flacco is elite, and it's not because of what he does in the regular season; it's because he does in the playoffs.
But
Big Dick Nick has that same energy.
He does it every playoff game. He hadn't had a bad playoff game, Joe Flacco, since like his second year in the NFL. Ever since then, every playoff game he literally played like an elite quarterback.
Big Dick Nick threw for like 400 yards.
Yeah,
won the Super Bowl against Tom Brady.
The postseason after, he wasn't that good. People were like, "Oh, he won that Bears game." He didn't win it. Fucking Cody Parkey lost it.
Hey, he did enough to win.
With
he
a
did his job.
Double doink.
He did his job.
Bro, he averaged like 5 yards an attempt that game. And then
Tom Brady, his first Super Bowl. What was the final score in that game? 20-17. What does everybody talk about? They don't talk about what he did in quarters 1 through 3. They talk about that final drive he led with 90 seconds left or whatever it was.
All they focus on is the fucking end of shit or like
when it
the
matters
playoffs.
Most, and that's when Big Dick Nick shows up.
They don't take into account like the team and the game and all that. And then Nick Foles, like, he's like, everybody loves Nick Foles, and I don't get why. Like, I love him as a guy. He's a great guy. But as a player, he's just disappointing. Everywhere he's gone, besides that 27-2 touchdown interception season and that playoff run, every other fucking moment in his career, he's been below average.
He's the Adrian Broner of the NFL. Like, you see all the talent. Like, there's just these one little flash that but when you want it, he never pulls it out. Like, Adrian won't let his hands go. Nick won't just have good games in week 6. He always has to wait till the fucking Super Bowl or NFC Championship when Carson Wentz is hurt or they bench Mike Vick.
Yeah. But Carson Wentz, like, that's the perfect team he could have gone to. I feel so happy he didn't go to the Bears.
It's so boring. Like, I want him to be good. Like, I'm rooting for Carson Wentz. I feel like
anybody doesn't root for somebody unless they're clearly an asshole. Like, I don't get why.
I fucking hate LeBron. And
yeah, because you're a salty bitch because he's fucking...
We owned him. The Celtics owned him first before he owned us.
For 2 years when he was on...
We ran him out of Cleveland the first time.
It's not his fault. Mo Williams and fucking Big Z was his fucking best fucking teammates.
We're winning the rivalry just on this stance. We ran LeBron out of Cleveland. The only thing LeBron ran out of Boston was Isaiah Thomas.
Dude, he's shit in your guys' mouth for a decade straight in the East. Every year.
He's shown everyone, not just us.
Yeah, but you guys act like it's a rivalry. Everybody else knew what was going on.
It was.
We were
up 3-2 on the Heat. We were up 3-2 on the Heat.
Did you lose? When was the last time you beat LeBron in a series? 2010? 2010 is 2021. What fucking rivalry is that? That's like Tennessee saying to Florida, "Oh, we beat you guys in 2015." No. And then you guys beat us every other year since 2004. Besides that one year. No. It's a rivalry. It's
like Alabama and SEC. Everyone's always talking about Georgia or Florida. We were the Georgia those years. Like, no one's gonna remember us in 50 years.
But the difference is LSU won the SEC last year. Georgia won it a few years ago. Auburn won it a few years. Like, at least other people have won, and Alabama has lost. You guys lost for 11 straight years and still act like it's a rivalry.
It wasn't 11, all right.
Well, basically 2010 to 2019 or
2011 playoffs to
2019's off
well, we still haven't beat them, so I guess now.
Yeah. You can't even get to the point to beat him because you couldn't beat the Heat last year. You choked in fucking 4 games. I don't even know.
I remember it was like Adrian Broner and Nick Foles, but Carson Wentz on the Colts. I'm hating somebody for no reason. The biggest storyline I'm waiting for in Indianapolis is what number he's going to wear, because that's a big factor in how good a quarterback can. Because Michael Pittman Jr. is number 11. He already said he's not giving it up. He said there's no amount of money that
Wentz has got so much money. He'll offer him something and he'll give it up. Trust
told him, he's like,
money speaks.
Nope.
Then he'll wear. I'm gonna say he's gonna wear like 10 or 1. Then one of those two.
It's a big. I don't like 1 on a white quarterback.
Oh my god.
What?
Just all right. But like, I just think it was the perfect situation.
What white quarterback wearing number 1 has ever been good? Cam Newton's an MVP. I can't think of one white guy.
I'm sure there's a guy out
there.
What was
the little Spanish dude in the longest yard. That just was terrible.
Brucey.
He was number 1.
Was he?
I think.
I don't know about that. I'm not 100% positive. But thank God, because Wentz, he went to the Colts because he loves to play that hero ball, hold on to the ball way too long, try to make a play. And at least with the Colts now, he's got guys like Pittman and T.Y. Hilton to help him out. And then he's got arguably the best offensive line in the NFL, led by man destroyer Quinn Nelson. Like, he's like the scariest motherfucker in the NFL.
Brucey was number 1.
He was number 1?
So that's our evidence. Outside of black quarterbacks, outside of Cam Newton, every number 1 has sucked.
Well,
the most well-known one is Brucey.
Brucey was like a kicker / quarterback because he had that onside kick that wasn't supposed. He didn't know it was an onside kick.
Yeah. Brucey's the GOAT. Him and Cheeseburger Eddie.
Cheeseburger. But I think that like the Colts are sneaky like Super Bowl favorites possibly. With Wentz, I think Wentz will turn around with the Colts because like this is a perfect situation for him.
It's too good of a situation for him to be good. He's gonna be mediocre and get run out of town in a couple of years.
No,
That's the way
if
I see
Phillip
it.
Rivers could look good this year with this Colts team, and they're pretty young in a lot of areas, he's gonna improve.
But I'm saying like
they're gonna improve.
Carson Wentz on the Colts. Everyone's saying like, oh, it's a perfect situation for him to bounce back. I think it's gonna work out for him. It's all too pretty. It never works out when it's too pretty. Like Phil Rivers, when he went there, anywhere he went, I was like, well, Phil Rivers kind of sucks.
Wasn't Tom Brady in Tampa too pretty?
No,
he went from receivers to the best.
Yeah, but everyone was talking about his age and the short off season and how shitty Tampa is. Like, there was a lot of skeptics.
What about Patrick Mahomes, like a guy with that arm and that talent? All right, but with those receivers and all that, people are like, oh, it's perfect.
He lost.
Oh my God, they lost because they had no offensive line because they were all fucking hurt.
Did he win though?
No, but whatever. All I'm saying is,
if he chooses like a number like 16 or something, he's definitely gonna not ever like the only 16th ever good is Joe Montana.
I'm sure there's
Ryan Leaf is the other option.
I'm sure there's other 16s. Why do you care so much about the number? The number doesn't matter that much.
Yes, it does, Timothy.
No, it doesn't.
There's been no good quarterback that ever wore the number 19.
I'm sure there has been.
Who?
Elvis Grbac or whatever. He played for the Ravens. He was really good before. I'm pretty sure he was 19.
The Ravens.
Yeah, Elvis Grbac, whatever.
He's so good, I don't even know who he is.
I can't say his name because it goes GRB to start. And how the fuck do you pronounce that? Like, pronounce that. It's GRBVAC.
Grb.
Yeah, see? He was good before he got to the Ravens. We signed him after we won the Super Bowl in 2002 or 2001. Because Trent Dilfer sucks ass, even though we won. But I just like the Colts. I could see them being as good as the Chiefs next year with Carson Wentz because that offensive line is so good. Like, I can see them being arguably like 13-3 at the end of the regular season. Could you not see that? And their defense is fucking as good as fuck too. They could just improve.
13-3 though. They got the Titans to worry about.
The Titans, they're starting to lose their luster a little bit. People aren't as intimidated by that power
Derrick
run
Henry,
anymore.
it seems like everyone's scared to tackle him.
Did you not see what we did in the wild card round against him? He had like 30 yards for the entire game.
I'm scared for the defenders that have to tackle Derrick Henry.
I wouldn't want to tackle that. Imagine Derrick Henry on the fucking Ravens. I was thinking about that earlier. That'd be a perfect team for him. Not related whatsoever. You brought up Derrick Henry. But I just think they're the clear-cut favorites in the AFC. What division? The South. They're in the South, and they're in Indianapolis.
I was trying to think. I was trying to think because everyone was how much kind of a tough division with Deshaun Watson and the Texans. I was like the Texans ass, and then the Jaguars cap space. Urban Meyer.
They're not.
Trevor Lawrence.
I can see them being like 8-8 maybe. They're just so like little.
Yeah, but they'll be scrappy no matter what.
They're gonna be a scrappy team, but I don't think they're gonna win games consistently. I just think there's going to be a lot of young players, and they're still kind of trash in important areas, like the offensive line.
We got a whole offseason. We don't even know what they look like yet.
I just think there's too many holes for them to fill, that even with the cap space and draft capital they have, to go to a team that can compete with the Colts for the and Titans for that division.
Yeah. Like we said, it's a perfect situation for him. But for me, whenever it's too good, it never works out. But I hope it does for Carson Wentz.
I think it will. I think they're gonna be really good next year.
Oh, no, no. Feel for